Noah Sands about it. Alright. Now for some actual entertainment.
The Tofu Survivor?
So this is a mode that if you played in the original Resident Evil, you had to clear 6 scenarios in a row with an A rank to unlock. In this one, all you have to do is beat Force Survivor. The Force Survivor is when you play as Hunk. He has a series of things, and you have to get from the bottom of the sewers out to the entrance of the RPD with limited resources.
Wait.
With the Tofu Survivor, you play as a block of tofu.
What?
And all you have on you are knives.
What the hell? This is so stupid.
I'm headed toward the brigade of RPD.
So this
You play as Tofu.
Yeah, this requires a little bit of explanation. So the original Resident Evil 2, the original release, had you play as a block of tofu, yes. But
What?
the reason why it was a block of tofu was that it was actually the game's collision detection model that they had made for the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
And in this one, they just made it a block of tofu.
Because why not?
With actual like bump mapping and everything, that makes it look really like you get to experience this in lovely 60 FPS now. That
Well,
the amount
sense.
of jiggle that this tofu block has.
Well, because like before you put texture skins onto like a 3D environment, it's gonna look more like 3D polygons.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that like you would see the hitbox as an actual like rectangle, but like now they're just like, yeah, it's tofu.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Why
it's
not?
it's a nice throwback because I don't even think like I mean, it's a cool thing. There's nothing wrong with the fact that there's more bonus things to do, and this is basically a challenge mode. But, you know, why? There's a lot because I've been playing Resident Evil 2 for a very long time, and it's very funny to me that Tofu Survivor manages to excel at what the original Tofu Survivor was by being so ridiculously funny.
They're just like, you know what? We don't have to do a whole lot. And I like how the tofu just degrades.
Yeah, it actually shows damage, yeah. Like, the greatest gift about Tofu Survivor is the fact that the challenge is to get to the end using only knives. But the bonus challenge is the fact that 25% of your screen is tofu.
Good luck seeing through that.
You can't see through tofu. In fact, it's actually a benefit to be put into caution so you can see past tofu. In the original version of Tofu, he would gradually turn red, like he didn't degrade, because he was the registration model.
Well,
he wasn't actually
yeah,
Tofu.
And limitations.
And limitations, yeah, which is miraculous that most of this still happened to get into Resi 2 on the N64. I think they had to cut. I think they had to cut Tofu and Force Survivor out, but they managed to use like every last bit of memory the N64 cartridge could have in order to have the entire complete experience in it. Like I think it has access to Extreme Battle, and like it has access to all 4 scenarios, and you can select them freely. Because when you play PS1, all the Claire scenarios are on disc 2, and then all the Leon scenarios are on disc 1. That's how they could work around the whole thing. I don't know how they handled the zapping mechanic, though. I didn't play the N64 version a whole lot.
I never had an N64, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I get to explain this a little bit, because this would be your first time hearing about it. The Resident Evil 2 had a mechanic called zapping, which is basically like a butterfly effect. The actions you do in an A scenario change what happens in the B scenario. So, for instance, if you kill Marvin, in Leon A, Marvin will not appear in Leon B.
Makes sense.
Or in Claire B, I mean, because you can't play both scenarios of the same character. You have to play... If you play one, you have to play the other scenario as the other character. This is basically training for hardcore, because you get to learn how to dodge attacks.
Now, if you use herbs, does the tofu regenerate?
Oh yeah, the tofu just zips back to normal full tofu power.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna... Actually, no, I'm gonna save that. Because it is now at this point where I actually have to start dealing with Mr. X. And I wanted to wait until I'm just about to dodge this motherfucker to pop the red-blue combo. Because the red-blue combo... Nope. The red-blue combo actually reduces your damage taken. And I want to save it for this specific part, because if I can avoid taking damage from most things, it'd be helpful.
This looks so dumb.
It's fantastically stupid. Just
You
wait
know
until
they could've done-
just wait until February 15th.
Well, like they could have done something like commercial, where they're like, now you get to play as tofu, and like zombies can be like vegetarians and that sort of shit.
That was kind of the thing, actually, when it came to when it actually came to advertising it.
Oh my god.
When they were just like, yeah, the tofu survivor's back. And this time the zombies don't want brains. They want a vegan delight. I think that was kind of the thing.
Good marketing team.
Yeah, no, the Resident Evil Twitter is gold. Okay, this can be a bad room. I don't know how I didn't get hit by X there.
I don't know either.
How many knives? Okay, I have 9 knives left. They give you 16 knives. And you can use them as a melee weapon, or you can actually, like, prevent getting grabbed.
I mean, it works either way.
These Ivy zombies are insta-kill. If they grab you, so you want to have a knife left over, because that's not the last time you deal with them. There's one more at the very end in a cluster of like 12 zombies and an adult mutant.
Oh, that's great.
They really throw everything they've got at you in 4th and Tofu Survivor. But in Tofu Survivor you only have knives, but in 4th Survivor you have a pistol, a magnum, a shotgun, a submachine gun, grenades, and like 2 knives. Like, you have everything you ever need to protect yourself against a billion zombies.
But you still have to, like, be careful about how you use it, though.
Yeah. That said, you can get through these scenarios without... I went the wrong way. That's okay. This is why you have backups. Okay. Dodge that one. I'm actually in a good spot of health, which is fine because I'm about to get force damaged here. For some reason, if a zombie is on an upper incline, they really like to force damage on you if they grab you from above or below. Like, you can't counterattack it for some reason. Okay, there's another licker and some crawler zombies here. Okay, and we're basically in the clear. I have enough knives to protect. So this might actually be my first clear of Tofu.
It looks so silly when it jiggled down the ladder.
Oh yeah, it's great. Okay, there's your adult. Which I'm going to take a grab, and then hopefully get grabbed forward. Okay.
Oh god, nope. Oh, that is gross.
I want to get grabbed by the Ivy. So basically, you have grab invulnerability when something has grabbed you before. You have like 2 seconds of grab immunity, unless it's an adult. Unless it's the adult mutant. Okay. I'll take the damage. That's okay. And Mr. X is right behind us, so...
Oh, even better.
Yep, just got one more cluster to avoid. Hopefully I don't get grabbed by that one. And we are golden. Hopefully. Unless I get sniped in the head as soon as I walk out this gate. Hey!
That honestly wouldn't surprise me.
There we go. Be good. The tofu talks in Japanese, by the way.
Oh my god. I have the sound off so I don't hear the echoing.
It's like high pitched. Hey!
Oh my god.
10 minutes. Go ahead and put that tofu in the item box. Nice.
That jiggly deliciousness.
Yeah, jiggly deliciousness. No idea what that means. New characters have been unlocked. Oh, hey, look. You could play as Konjac or uiro-mochi.
Oh.
More characters for Tofu.
Konjac is like, it's not quite tofu, but it's still eaten in certain dishes. But then
Many think him weak due to his low calorie count, but he can use the power of dietary fiber to eliminate any target.
yeah, he basically used konjac in a lot of soups. I've seen it sometimes as dessert.
Oh my god. Konjac is decked out.
Jesus.
He's got a flamethrower and grenade launcher.
Yeah.
I think we got this. I'm still gonna like avoid as much as I possibly can.
The other one, mochi.
I know mochi at least.
Well, that just might be saying like the type of mochi, because it's in general it's just pounded rice.
Yeah.
That's made into dough, but a lot of times you see it for dessert, but sometimes
Oh man, they
it
actually
is
changed
part
like
of,
the
a dinner.
actually changed like the bump mapping and everything on Konjac here.
Oh, it's being cooked.
Yeah. You can actually avoid damage if a zombie dies while grabbing you, if it takes fire damage to death. It's a super nice add-on, yeah. That said, Konjac has a bunch of cool stuff, but he's also he's got like very little ammo, or like very little healing supplies.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Konjac kind of a pussy. Alright, that dog just walked into fire. Good job, Hellhound. By the way, the bloom on the fire is totally synthetic. Not synthetic. It's a virtual HDR. Because I don't have HDR enabled on my TV.
Okay.
So, in case you're wondering why things get really fucking dark, but the fire's super goddamn bright, virtual HDR.
A lot of bloom.
A lot of
It's like,
bloom,
Jesus.
yeah.
It's like I'm playing Twilight Princess on GameCube again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So much bloom, you can't even see eyes when you're in
Like,
Kakariko. Good lord.
I didn't realize how much bloom there was until I got the HD version. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah,
There's
when they
a lot
actually
of
had
bloom.
proper resolution bloom. Yeah, that was a thing in Resident Evil 4 as well. Like you play Resident Evil 4 on GameCube and it's like, man, there's a lot of motion blur and bloom. And then you play it on PC and you disable the motion blur and it's just like, man, how the hell did I play with so much bloom? Like,
I don't know. Because I got like pretty far in Twilight Princess and I was like, how do I see anything in this game? And I grew up kind of being partially blind, so I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. God, Konjac is definitely a little weirder to look at. Looks like I'm looking at a freshly cleaned marble counter.
More like granite, but yeah, I
Yeah.
can see why.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've eaten konjac, but I am not a fan of tofu. I will only eat it if it's in like dishes like sukiyaki because it just comes with the dish. But otherwise, I do not voluntarily eat.
I don't need to tell you about my diet to tell you that I'm never gonna eat tofu. I just love the concept of tofu being a playable character in a survival horror game. Like, it completely diminishes the horror aspect when you're just a block of tofu going around with a grenade launcher. And like, fuck you, liquor.
I wish I could have done that in like Corpse Party at some point. Like if that was an extra.
Oh yeah, like it was a throwback to RE2.
Or like it was just something silly. But like any of the extras in Corpse Party, they're not really silly.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets more and more horrific, especially if you go exploring.
I gotcha.
There's some really fucked up shit in that.
Yeah. Well, Resident Evil 2 is like a huge thing. Like, it's such like a pop culture game. Like, everybody's heard of it. They haven't had to have played it, but they definitely have heard of it. It's like one of the biggest things that makes RE2 so crazy.
I want to say Corpse Party came out like very late 1990s, so I don't know.
This is 1990.
I want to say it's around the same time.
Corpse Party is pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that liquor isn't gonna grab me today. Still gotta deal with Mr. X, but that's okay. I'll just walk around him. Because I'm Konjac. I got this. I'm a boss. I'm immediately gonna get thrown through a window, though. It's gonna be funny.
Just burn everything.
Yeah.
That's how you make things better. Just burn everything.
Is Konjac spicy?
No.
Why does he have a bunch of fire stuff then?
Because you would cook in dishes that are probably like a sort of like a shabu shabu dish, which is in like a ceramic bowl, but it's under like it's over like a fire.
Oh, okay, I see.
So you kind of boil it. Like I have like a ceramic pot for it, simply to do shabu shabu, and usually you do it over like a single burner, so it's like a portable camping stove sort of, and like you get gas in cans, because Japanese housing is so small.
Mm-hmm.
But like here you would just do it on a stovetop because like we have that.
Okay,
Not that I'm gonna have a kitchen in a month, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, this is inconvenient, but that's okay. I got grenades for this.
I love grenades, but I also think they can also be sort of...
Well, you don't actually... You have to, like, be standing right on the fucking things in order to get hurt by them. They're super
feel like grenades
lenient
are...
with the blast radius.
But aren't they loud?
Oh yeah, they're super loud.
That's why I'm like, it's cool,
But Mr. X
sound.
is, like, guaranteed to be chasing you in Tofu. I got spooked, and that's why I'm going through some tough times right now. I'm just gonna use this guy as a mine. Get my shit out of here.
Oh god. I can see how detailed some of these models are, and it's just like, oh, that's some nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, they did a fantastic job with the detail and modeling. It takes me all the way back to '98. Like, they have like old CRT monitors with like proper plugins and everything. They went excruciating on the detail here. Oh hey, look, the thing that I need the flamethrowers for.
Convenient.
Yeah. You can't kill these things except with fire. If you down them with fire by shooting their little like orange bulbs, kind of like how the regenerators work in RE4, then they'll get back up eventually. So you have to kill them with fire.
Good enough.
Yeah, I think that guy's burned. Now to just not die to getting burned. Oh hi. Onward! We're currently in danger, but we're almost to the end. We just have to beat We just have to beat Mr. X to the helicopter. And if we fail, that's okay. Not really a deal breaker because the tofu stuff is really hard anyways.
You know what you can make with tofu is a vegan sour cream.
I don't even want to know what that tastes like.
It's okay. I very much miss dairy products, but my stomach is like, nah, fuck.
Oops. Oh. Ripperoni cone jack. Alright, let's
He
see what the
really
other
likes
one is.
cone jack.
Oh yeah, he loves cone jack. Oh my god. He was all up in that shit.
Yes.
Alright, let's see what the other one is. Mochi. Let's see what they have. I see a lot of grenades.
I have like a bit of a delay, so like...
A soft yet delightfully chewy intelligence agent with a simple, uncomplicated flavor. His one weakness is that he's susceptible to his environment, giving him a short shelf life.
Oh yeah, because like when you buy some products, especially tofu, you can get hard tofu, soft
Oh
tofu.
my god. Oh my god. This is the best.
Just grenades.
Nothing but frag grenades. 36
Okay.
frag grenades.
I'm headed toward
It's like, have fun.
Yep.
pick you up there.
He's not smoking a cigar, but I'll take the grenades. It basically guarantees that I'm gonna have to deal with zombies on a frequent basis in order to get through stuff. Which is fine, because I want an excuse to throw grenades and shit. Alright. Mochi's like a greenish one, right?
Mochi is actually just in general white.
Hmm.
But you could do different colors. Because if you have daifuku mochi, which is like mochi, but there's like a filling inside, usually it's unko, which is like red beans. They can be different colors, so you
This
could have
might
like
be- this might be-
black sesame seeds.
Yeah, this might be sensu mochi.
Yeah.
I don't have healing. Like, period. But I have grenades.
The Houndtails seem to like you.
Yeah. It's really surreal to, like, look at my grenade count as I pull out a grenade and see 30. Like, that's enlightening. And I don't have to worry about not being as frugal with my grenades.
Well, someone had to like test this out and approve it.
Yeah,
so...
well, yeah, so these missions are doable. But some developers do put in missions that they think are impossible, and then people do them, so... I have a very strong feeling that Capcom is not among that group when it comes to Resident Evil. That these are actually doable.
Well, Capcom's not the douchiest developer.
Yeah, well, it depends. They did make Dante Must Die.
But is it just an option?
Yeah.
Because if it's an option, it's one thing, but if it's like default, it's like,
They also made Ethan Must Die for Resident Evil 7, and that has a 2% clear rate last I checked.
I saw that and I was like, that's just evil, but like, if people want to play that, that's fine.
Yeah, randomized loot. The first box you open up can just kill you instantly. It's great.
Oh,
I unabashedly love Resident Evil 7 and all of its content.
did you play in VR though?
Oh yeah, I'm among the 15% of users that played in VR.
You're insane. Like, nope.
My LP is VR on the hardest difficulty.
Nope.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely nope. Yeah, no kidding, nope. There's actually a moment in Resident Evil 7 where I'm like going through this door and you could visibly hear me gasp as I look left and then I look right and all of a sudden like Jack's here to fuck my day up.
Oh my god, I couldn't do it. Like, nope.
I love VR horror. It's so good. Would that be the first thing I show people to bring them into VR? No.
No, unless you're Satan.
VR horror is a very surreal experience.
I was watching like an YouTuber talk about like horror anime and then versus like why games are actually a better medium for horror, and I was like, that is true. And he's also like, yeah, if you're not good with horror, do not do VR horror. And I was like, shit.
Yeah, it's one thing to do VR horror when it's something that you can separate from, but there's like psychological VR horror that actually like fucks with you.
Well, because like your first instinct would be to cover your ears, but you're wearing headphones, so it just makes it worse.
Yeah, well,
No.
granted, I wear earbuds, so it's slightly worse because I got that noise canceling shit.
Oh.
But
no.
but there's actually something worse than that. It's like there's some VR horror out there that plays with the psychological method and actually does stuff to make you dizzy and disoriented. Like there's like I think there's a game. I never played it because I don't want to be motion sick when I play VR games, but I have a lot of like quick motion ones. But one of these games actually like really like distorts your vision and stuff and like gives you fisheye, and I'm like, that no, I can't. I already have like a problem with VR when it comes to like not having proper FOV adjustment or like all this other fun stuff and terminology. Like just give me a series of settings for me to optimize it so that I can play it for as long as possible.
Yeah. Although when I did try the HTC Vive, when I still lived in LA, one of the things that they did at the demo was that you were in like a sinking ship, and I turned right. There's this giant whale eye, and I just froze.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't do anything, and people like the person who's like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like,
I'll be with you in a minute. I'm not here right now.
Because I'm 5'3", I'm already like tiny compared to a lot of people, so I'm just like, oh god, I don't know what to do. Cosmic levels of horror with H.G. Wells, but with the whale. And I know it's not gonna hurt me, but my brain is like, I can't do anything. I'm just stuck.
Yeah. And Mochi. Mochi, please.
Man. Whoops.
Yeah. I saw Mr. X and I was like, yep, I'm gonna get killed by a liquor. This is fine. Can't believe that there's more Tofu to play as. I really
I'm not
didn't.
surprised.
I really didn't think that was. I thought I would be done, but no. Apparently, there's more Chronicles of Tofu.
I love how the Mochi one is smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that's. I wish you were smoking a cigar in game. That'd be so great. I can't wait for the 15th of February though. The 15th of February is a free update. And they're adding in the low poly outfits.
I was just like, it's discount chocolate day.
Yeah, it's discount chocolate day, yeah, but the 15th is also the day that they released the original PS1 models as outfits in the remake.
Fitting.
So you can play it, so you can... It's also fitting because I play with the classic music soundtrack.
This is Hunk from Alpha Team.
Man, I thought you were all wiped out. I've been trying
I'm
to...
at point K12. Need info on that extraction.
I still think it's funny that Tofu is called Hunk.
Well, yeah, it's the same mode as this. The guy's name is Hunk for Force Survivor, so they just use the same dialogue, and then it's like Tofu.
But it's...
It is fun. It's a hunk of tofu, yeah. It's a great double entendre. Yeah, the design of Hunk in this game is great. Like, nothing gives me that greater sense of him earning the name Grim Reaper or Mr. Death than the way he looks. Just this soldier decked out in like 100 pounds of patches, or 100 pounds of pouches and weapons, with glowing red eyes. That's like the perfect descriptor for a guy named Mr. Death.
Yeah.
This dude is also decked out. Like I mentioned, he's got plenty of supplies for us to use. And the weapon that he has like the least of is the pistol. Everything else is open season.
I feel like we would want more of the pistol, but maybe not.
Well, in that instance, they do give you gunpowder if you need a certain weapon or a certain ammo type. They also give you like a ton of health.
Because like with a pistol, it's smaller and like easier to load than say like a shotgun.
Dogs, for God's sake.
They really just want to be your friend.
I don't want to be their friend. They're mean. They play rough.
Some people don't like to hear that.
Yeah. Well, they're dogs and they're zombies, so they're twice as stupid.
I don't know, like, PD gave himself a concussion the other day because we got a shower installed and it's all glass.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't been able to open the glass shower by himself. So he goes and runs in as soon as my dad opens the door to take a shower. But then my dad turns the water on, so he's all wet and he's like, he can't see out of one eye. So he runs into one door trying to get out. And then he finds the door, but then he runs into it again. And then he finally gets out, and then he's running back out all wet. And then I come out later, and I'm like, because I sleep in the morning. And he's like yelling at me and doing all this weird shit. And that's when I was like, what's with the cat? And he's like, Mom's like, oh, you didn't hear what happened? And I was like, oh, that's stupid.
Yep, stupid cat. Stupid cat mode activated.
Well, like, he's instinctually smart, but, like, otherwise he does stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows, like, what it means to get treats, to go on a walk, to be fed, and what it means to be played with, because he will drag his toy over to you. Other than that, he just does dumb things.
Yeah. They do make you decide very quickly what weapon is most important to you.
I mean,
because you only have 2 gunpowder. You only have 2 gunpowder and 2 yellow gunpowder. So you can either make handgun ammo and magnum ammo, or you can make 2 shotgun ammos. There's no in between.
Gotta make choices.
Yep, gotta make those choices. And my choice is usually handgun ammo and magnum ammo, but I'm gonna see if I can get through with using as little stuff as possible. Thanks for playing. It's really great to actually have the power fantasy of just destroying liquors, because they're such a nuisance in early play. Like,
Yeah.
my understanding of Resident Evil 2 is that there are 2 parts that are horrifying to play when you're trying to beat the game quickly. Early RPD, when you have just a pistol and no other equipment to assist, and the laboratory. And that feeling holds true in the remake, because the early RPD is horrifying because you only have a pistol, and it's much more difficult to get a shotgun. And the laboratory is full of enemies that want to instant kill you.
Yeah.
God damn it, I love this game.
Clearly, because you keep playing it.
Yeah, and I plan on playing the classic. And I plan on playing the original as a speedrun. But, you know, I'm just mildly obsessed with the remake currently.
I mean, it's fine. Everyone has a game that they really love.
Yeah. It's really weird to actually, like, have that feeling, though, for the first time in a while. Because, like, I haven't had the feeling where it's like, oh man, I really want to play this game right now. And, like, the first game in a long time that has even done that has been Resident Evil. Like, I always want to play Resi 4, I always want to play Resi 5.
As long as you can put it down at some point, that's not too bad, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I go to sleep, I play other games, but any other time I'm thinking, like, I could play this for an hour. It's usually Resident Evil. Because it's the kind of game where you can do a lot of things and, like, make progress in an hour, and then you can save and come back to it. Like, if a puzzle's troubling you, just save and come back to it. This is the part I was waiting on my... this herb. I'm gonna wait until I see what's up here first before I use the damage reduction herb. Oh, hey, look, it's my friend. Oh, he threw me back, actually. That's kind of helpful. If that didn't happen.
I mean, it's what friends do best.
Yeah. Just pop the first aid spray, and we're clear. Now it's time for the Ivy guys. Yeah, like I said, they're like regenerators in RE4, where you actually have to shoot specific parts of their bodies to kill them. But unlike regenerators, these fuckers don't stay down.
Can't say I'm surprised by that.
Yeah. I mean, in the original, they were just plants. Like, some feed me Seymour motherfuckers. But in this one, they're actually, like, zombies infested with some sort of highly predatory ivy, which is super cool and metal as fuck. Alright. Doing the thing. Because I need shotgun ammo. Just to clear out this room, because I don't want to get grabbed. There we go. Lickers are actually prone to the, zigzag effect, like the alligator avoidance effect. Or as long as you zigzag, they can't hurt you that much.
I can see why that works, actually.
Yeah, just because they actually base their swipe on what side you're on. You can kind of force stuff. Yeah, I figured I was gonna get grabbed because of that liquor hit. That's okay, though. I still have my Magnum. And I have one grenade. Which I actually want to use to protect myself against Ivy, because that will kill a bunch of zombies around me. But this means I have to do a wide loop around the mature G. There we go. Alright, I think we're clear. That actually, wow, that set fire to a lot of things behind me.
Whoops.
Well, I definitely just plastered 2 zombies with 1 bullet, so that's helpful. Alright, survey says, did I get a better time? Only time will tell. Yeah, Forest Survivor's easy, though. It's when you get to the Tofus that it can get kind of...
It gets kind of weird.
Gets kind of harsh, yeah. Actually did worse, but that's okay. I wasn't gunning for anything. I just wanted to play something normal. Oops, I didn't mean to start Tofu again. I wanted to do Konjac again. I do appreciate the victory screens they give you, though. Those are extra charming. I don't even know what I unlock for doing these. I think, believe it or not, I think they just unlock models in the viewer. Let me check. Records. Yeah, I definitely unlocked... Are there 5 Tofus? Alright. Fine. I'll play all the Tofus. You don't think I will?
I think you'll have to like beat the first 3 and then you'll get the other 2.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case. Or it's gonna be like sort of a tree. Or if I beat this one, I get one, and then if I beat the other one, I get the other one. Some of his elements can be digested by human digestive juices. That's great. It's true, some of Konjac kind of just sticks with you. All of these characters have unique voices, too.
I wish I could do them.
I wish I could give you a good comparison of what they sound like. But alas, I don't watch anime.
I mean, like, I ended up actually retaking Japanese because I did in high school at a language school just for fun. And then it turns out my university wouldn't take my American Sign Language as credit for the foreign language requirement. So they're like, well, you have to do something else. So I'm like, okay, we'll just retake Japanese, which was fine up to the 3rd class, because up to the 3rd class I had learned most of like the vocabulary and grammar. I got up to like the 3rd class and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and neither does anyone else.
I've been winging enunciation for a while, and I think I'm getting lucky.
I can do okay with standard Japanese Tokyo dialect, but like any other dialect in Japan, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't quite know, like where it comes from or necessarily what words, because
Yeah.
it's like the entire language is like, do you know context? Are you good with context? And sometimes it's like, you may not.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah. I have to find out why my chair keeps dropping, though. It adds a lot more suspense to this element that every, like, at a random interval between 10 to 25 seconds, I drop an inch closer to the ground because my chair isn't, like, locked in or something.
I wouldn't know because I haven't had a really good computer chair ever. I just know that like I want to wait to buy that $400 gaming chair because it looks so comfy.
Yeah. I was thinking about it up to the point where I was like, man, all these chairs look the same. You could probably get one of those office chairs, like a DX Racer, for like on the cheap at this point.
Well, they all the same design, but do they use the same materials?
Beats me.
So that would make the difference in like what's comfortable.
Yeah.
But I would have to like get a new desk to get one of those chairs, because the one desk I made is so tiny and it's not meant for modern computer chairs.
Yeah, I have an office chair, just like a hand-me-down for my mom, and I also have this table that I use as a desk, which is actually an outdoor like food prep table for like camping.
Table?
Yeah, it's like a folding table.
Oh,
With like faux leather, so like it's absolutely not gonna do the work that an actual office that an actual desk would. And I know what kind of desk I want. I want a desk made out of wood because I have so much metal shit in my room that it causes interference with wireless stuff.
really?
Yeah.
Well,
anytime you see like my camera slowly rotate for no reason, or like I slow down, it's probably because my controller disconnected in the middle of me doing something. Alright, fucking chair. Could you stop?
I mean, a lot of the desks you're gonna find, at least that are you can buy fully, fully done, are gonna be mainly plywood, but they're gonna be lighter than like a full wood desk. But I will say, if you take out the drawers, it's a lot lighter.
Yeah. I mean, I probably am not gonna need like drawers.
Drawers are standard for a lot of desks.
Yeah. And I mean, I
but
also
you
don't need to
can-
move the desk around. I just need it to be somewhere. I need it to be a thing that I own.
Computer desks usually are just more like a table, but they might be better in terms of like cable management. So like a traditional desk has like what's called a courtesy cover, like where your legs go, which I understand why, but I still hate it. Because then I can't stretch my legs out.
Okay, it's time for me to use the flamethrower for a while. Although I'm sitting pretty on ammo for the grenade launcher. I could actually do the entire RPD section with this many grenades. So I'm gonna give it a go, and I don't want to use my first aid spray for as long as possible.
Until you meet your friend Mr. X again.
Well, that's not gonna be too far off. Like, it just happened. It always happens there.
The problem is I'm watching the stream with a slight delay.
Yep. It's like 10 or 15 seconds.
I feel like there's a few programs where I could have like I wouldn't have the delay, but it would require more CPU and some other things.
Alright, well, this is gonna be very difficult. I am now out of self-defense.
Oh, Jesus.
Heads up. The guys at the top just ordered a full fill of rapid saves. Move fast. Or you can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, I did get a better mouse and keyboard that are ergonomic, and my hands and my wrists are much happier, I will say that.
Yeah. Once I got an angled keyboard, there was no turning back.
I got the ErgoDox EZ with like silver key, so it doesn't sound like when I'm typing like a shotgun is going off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got an ergonomic gaming mouse.
Yeah.
Though I'm glad I'm using the arm I had for my mic. So I just screwed my snowball onto it, and I could just go up and down with it, and I don't need that stupid big tripod stand.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough that in the middle of all my work, when I had the little like Wii U chat microphone, I had a mic stand. That Wii U chat microphone lasted through like the podcast and everything, so you know it was good quality, at the very least.
I forgot that existed.
Yeah, I definitely used it, and it was for most of the podcast actually that I used it, because I wouldn't get this microphone until like a year after. But yeah, it's definitely enlightening to have stuff from your old setup still work for your new stuff. Because I had this mic stand. I was like, man, it's gonna be a real bummer to like have to find a new mic stand. And then the microphone came with a little thing I could screw into my stand the same way I could with everything else. I was like, well, that makes my process a lot easier, actually. Because now it's like, alright, well, all I need to do is screw in this stand, and now all of a sudden my mic stand works for my new microphone. Although, it is a very light microphone stand, so I had to weigh it down with my guitar amp in order to keep it from flopping over.
Yeah, I can understand why that would happen.
But still, good thing. It's a good upgrade.
It always feels good when you know you can MacGyver something,
Yeah.
because you just don't have this other piece. or you get a desk or a table that is like, this is not going to work, but this is what I was given.
Everything must burn. Cone Jack must live. Everything must burn.
Burn, baby, burn. Burn,
Nope.
baby, burn.
Nope, that'll do it.
Oh, well.
I got screwed the moment I used my last grenade.
I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. I could have just taken the hit, but I didn't. It's fine. Cone Jack, you will be bested soon.
You will be avenged.
Ugh. Time to take off the sweater, I guess. I'm not on a webcam.
Well, I'm not either, but the only reason why I'm keeping mine on is because my house is only being warmed by space heaters.
Yeah, you know what? That'll do.
Guess there's no keeping down the Grim Reaper.
I will say that being a homeowner is overrated, and I don't think I ever want to be at this point.
Yeah.
Pick you up there.
Because we have to redo the kitchen in order to get back central heat.
Yeah. I mean, I've already made this readily apparent to my family that I would rather... I really hate the fact that I mooch off them for so long. Because it's like, I have this awesome house and this awesome room and all this equipment. But I still feel bad because, like, they pay for it. And, like, I can't even pay for, like, lunch.
I mean, everyone's, like, got reasons why they're living the way they are.
Yeah. I have it. I can't get a job because of my crippling social anxiety.
That's not something you can help. And
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad about, looking for employment right now, because I'm also helping out with the house. And I do stuff for my mom who's disabled. And I also cat sit and house sit for free, which is what I'm doing again.
Well, luckily for me, this is my self-employment. I got lucky. And got affiliate, and now I can do this possibly for a living in the future. But
I mean,
like priority
everyone's-
number one when it comes to getting money from this is helping pay the rent for this house.
Makes sense.
But it's gonna be a long shot. When
Although
it
if
does
I do
happen, it'll be
move-
cool.
I mean, if I move out of California, I plan on living in a very tiny trailer. Because paying for monthly payments for that and like living in an RV park is way cheaper than rent on the West Coast.
I live in a van down by the river.
I mean, that's actually really common in Hawaii and beach areas in California. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
It is what it is. Okay. Well, I'm down a green herb, but that's okay. Because the green herb is just stabilizing. If I keep the first aid spray into the second half of RPD, when I transition into shower room, then that's a good time.
Yeah, because once you get to a certain part in this, it's where it gets really dicey.
Yeah. Very dicey for Tofu. This is an actual video game that you can buy for $60.
I know, and it's stupid.
It's marvelous.
I'm like trying to figure out like what
It's
other
everything.
game-
It's everything I wanted from a remake.
I'm trying to figure out what other game I should buy for my Switch, which is like either Splatoon 2 or Smash Bros. But I'm hesitant because trying to use like the little Joy-Con makes my hands hurt. So I'm wondering if I should get a Pro controller.
Okami HD has touch control support, or touch support for drawing gestures.
I mean, that's fine, but I already have played through Okami HD, I think 3 times now.
To be fair, I've played through this like 7 times already, and it's been out a week, so...
I mean, I've gotten my investment out of Okami, but it's things like
Yeah.
Mario Kart and Splatoon where it's like...
Well, Super
If I'm
Mario
playing
Party
with-
is pretty good, apparently.
Well, it's when I play with friends that you would take like the Joy-Cons out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe investing in a Pro controller might alleviate those issues.
Yeah.
Might.
I'm always gonna recommend Monster Hunter to people, even if it isn't their thing.
I
Because
still
Monster
haven't
Hunter's on
played
another
Horizon,
thing.
but I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah. Is that on Switch?
No, it's on PS4, and I have like all the Persona dancing games on PS4. I don't think the power cable's in the box, the moving box in the house. I think it's one of the boxes in the garage, and I'm like, I don't know where the power cable is. So I can't actually use my PS4.
That's a shame.
Right. I know, but like, one of the new games I'm getting is gonna be on the Switch, so it's like, oh, I have something that I like.
Well, yeah, I mean, Monster Hunter is on the Switch. It's just a different Monster Hunter than World. It's the Generations Ultimate version, which is like a ton of content, for what it's worth. But I also know that like, well, it's also the fact that I understand that Monster Hunter is very specific, because I've tried with everyone at Blazekick to get them into it, and nobody else likes it. Like, I'm the only person who actually has like gotten their has had its like fangs sunken in with that kind of game. So like, this is a really silly room right about now. A lot of really bad news.
I'm trying to like not play as many RPGs because they are extremely time consuming. And I just found out that I'm still not technically done with Persona 5. I'm actually like on the second to last dungeon, not the last dungeon. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Well, there's Death Row to Canada on Switch.
I want to play that because it's so dumb.
It is quite ridiculous.
But yeah, I just want Animal Crossing Switch though, please. Please, I just want to stop playing Pocket Camp.
You wanna... you son of a bitch. Well, at least you threw me this way. God. I actually had a controller delay on getting the grenade out. That could have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say you don't want any more time-consuming RPGs, and then you immediately ask for Animal Crossing. It's just like, oh man.
Because Animal Crossing is like super relaxing.
Yeah. But it's still ridiculously time-consuming. Like, the moment you start Animal Crossing, you're not going to have time for anything else for, like, a year.
I mean, I think on the 3DS I almost got to like 300 hours.
Yeah. I mean...
Almost.
As long as it's not another New Leaf, I'll play the shit out of it. But mostly because I expect it to be another New Leaf is partially why I'm not necessarily like, I need to have this now. I just don't know anything about it yet.
Well, then people are saying they're gonna release it in April, and I was like,
there's no way. People think
like,
that people think that Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year, and I'm just like, it's
just
been in
canceled
development
it
for
to
2 years.
redo it.
Yeah, they just canceled it to redo it from scratch. You have a window with which to know when a stable enough version of the game will be available to view.
well, because Nintendo likes to do direct, so I'm like, unless there's a direct coming up soon, I was like, they need promotional material. They like need to hype it up. So I would be a bit confused about that.
Yeah. It is what it is. And what it is a lot of patience.
But to cancel a game after 2 years in development, I was like, how bad did they do?
Apparently, they tried a new thing with development, which is that they gave parts of it to different studios, and some studios did really well, and like had it going really well, and then others it was like a dumpster fire.
That's really bad because like, if the game companies that did well, if they get stuff canceled, that could be the end of the studio. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it was apparently a lot of internal studios, which I mean, I guess is a really good test of how the internal studios would have done if they were to do it. Like, because they have like 5 or 6 internal studios all doing stuff for Nintendo.
Yeah, but it's still just like not a good thing. It's like, ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Anytime you mitigate the process that a studio that is familiar with the franchise can do and ask 6 other studios or something, I don't know what the baseline is, but let's just say 6. Because there's like maybe 2 studios in North America and like 2 studios in Japan and then 1 in Europe and other sorts of stuff. We'll use that for an example. What are the odds that all 6 of those people would understand the exact same thing?
They're not, and there's gonna be mismanagement.
Yeah, which was apparent from the beginning. I was like, I mean, Nintendo can handle it, but I don't know if 6 Nintendos could handle it.
Yeah, I was like,
Because like
we'll see how this goes.
Nintendo has like a lot of powerhouses that like understand and can dissect what made a game good. I'm more excited to dump some time into whatever Mario Kart mobile thing there you got is. I expect it to be fun, at least, for a while. Well, maybe more fun than Fire Emblem Heroes.
I mean, mobile games can be really hit or miss. I'm still not a fan of them. I was only playing Pocket Camp to get my Animal Crossing fix in.
Yeah, you were sick and tired of New Leaf, and you were just like, I need to play something.
I can't play it because the circle pad on my 3DS broke.
Oh man.
And I'm trying not to spend a lot of money, so I'm like, it's okay. Like, if I don't play my 3DS anymore, I got a lot out of that 3DS.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that's apparent to me when it comes to Animal Crossing. As long as it's not another City Folk, I'll play it. Like, because like, Wild World was great and awesome, and I loved playing every minute of it. And then I played City Folk, and it was just like, what? It's the same game.
City Folk was bad, and it was so bad that that's what made New Leaf so good.
Is what made New Leaf great is because they didn't do the same thing again.
Well, they were determined to like make it better.
Yeah, I was determined to not fall under the guise of like buying games based on because they were a franchise thing. Like,
yeah.
I didn't buy into Animal Crossing New Leaf because I had already played so much Wild World and so much Animal Crossing GameCube that I was like, am I really going to get as much time out of New Leaf as I would like I played thousands of hours of Animal Crossing GameCube. Like, I did every single event. I did Harvest Day, I did Jingle Day. I did like New Year's and stuff. Like, I even streamed it for a week, and when I thought I was going to do everything. That was an interesting time. But like, when I got to New Leaf, I was just like, oh man, I'm the mayor and I could do all this cool stuff. Nice. And I like played it for a while, and then I was like, okay, I think I've had my fill. Time to go play other things. And now with like the new game on Switch coming out, I'm just like, it had better not be more New Leaf. Because if it's more New Leaf, that's okay, because New Leaf is cool, but I've already played New Leaf.
I do want them to take a lot of the new furniture and clothes designs from Pocket Camp and put it in.
I'll just take the hit.
But they definitely need to do something different, but I don't know what. Like, maybe they'll do something with Nintendo's online membership.
I mean, I think they have to for online play. Like, playing online with friends is like a guarantee, because that's so popular with players.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do, is my question. Is it gonna be like mini games?
I mean, you'd have to visit each other's towns, that's a guarantee. You have to be able to visit each other's towns if that's what they're doing. But it would be cool if they actually expanded on the idea of visiting other people's towns and doing things together, instead of just being like, alright, here you go, I'm gonna visit your town and drop like 1 billion things so that you don't have to worry about money. Like, it'd be kind of nice to actually have like a cohesive multiplayer thing to do. Just like visit a town and hang out together. And like do things. It's what kind of bummed me out when it came to like when it came to the newer Animal Crossing games after the GameCube one, where it was like, yeah, you can visit each other's towns and also play their NES games. It's like, cool. And then you come to like Wild World and New Leaf and all this sort of thing, and it's just like, you can visit each other's towns.
Well, in New Leaf, you can still go to the island and play minigame.
Well, yeah, but it was kind of cool to like have the idea that you could visit each other's towns and like play each other's games that they had. Like, it would be a cool thing to actually like be in Animal Crossing and be like, oh, dude, you have, I don't know, like baseball or something, you know?
Excite Bike.
Yeah, Excite Bike's fun. I don't even know what side I'm turned to. There we go. Am I? Okay, I am in danger. Alright, survey says I have 2 grenades on the day, and I really annoyed Mr. X. Yeah, some genius over in the Resident Evil subreddit calculated the amount of ammo it takes to kill things with certain weapons. And the chemical flamethrower takes 42. It takes 42 ammo, maybe 38. Just unfettered, just holding down the button and letting it do its thing to kill the Ivy zombies. If you do the tap method, which is to like fire it a little bit and then let go, you can actually kill Ivy zombies with the damage over time with 20 ammo. So you can actually conserve ammunition.
And hear him on Reddit for other things.
Yep. Cone Jack is here.
Well, it's to make kana oil, so I can make some good brownies.
Mm-hmm.
Like any other Californian.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'd probably try some of that over here. We're a lot of hipsters over here. We do a lot of weird stuff. I don't know how many grenades I have, but I think I have one left on this. And Mr. X is right on my ass, so. Do I have one more grenade. This works.
That monster is still creepy as fuck.
What, the adult?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're. I mean, if you don't defend yourself against them, they'll poison you. They're the only enemy in the game that poisons you, which seems like a waste of a mechanic, but it is what it is. I'll take the hit. Ah, damn it. I got twirled. So many zombies in that final area.
I can't say I'm surprised by that.
Oh well, yeah. There are always that many there. But man.
It's brutal by the end. You're like, no.
Yeah. It's worse when you're playing as the actual characters, because they actually do like have proper facial animation.
I noticed that, and like one of the death animations earlier was like a dude having his like muscles ripped out from his neck, and I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah, yep.
No.
Yep. Oh, there's a lot of cool death animations in this game. They don't have like the fetishism of Tomb Raider. Like they don't revel in it. They give you an ample amount of time to know that you fucked up, and then they kill you.
Yeah, I saw that when I was watching someone being like, what's wrong with the new Tomb Raider games? And they were just showing like all the death animations. They're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is really ridiculous.
Kill Clara.
Yeah, it's like 100 death animations that last way longer than they should. Like, I got it. I had my face impaled. I don't need to watch Lara squirm for the next 30 seconds. Thank you, I get it.
Yeah.
I remember there was an episode of Conan where he played Tomb Raider, and the audience reaction to Laura getting impaled in the waterfall sequence was like peak. Yes, people get that this is really fucked.
Understandably so.
Yeah, understandably so. Like, I don't like, it's Tomb Raider and Mortal Kombat are like parallels. It's really weird how Tomb Raider has like the same sort of vicious, like, savagery as a Mortal Kombat fatality, where it's just like, here you can watch Lara's bones get pulled out of her body. Like, oh great.
Yeah.
Like the only death sequence that makes any sense to me in the Tomb Raider series is the one where she kills a man for the first time. And it's like, that's a very natural response, and you should actually have to like watch it to get the impact. But every other death doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Cuz like that whole sequence is like a very real thing. Lara didn't start off as an ass-kicking murderer of like a bunch of military forces and everything. She started off as like a nobody that slowly grew thick skin as she realized that she kept being thrust into these incredibly ridiculous scenarios.
Yeah.
I look at that scene from time to time and I'm just like, there's a lot of power in just how Lara reacts. Like, but
Part of that is probably from if they did mocap the actors and then the animation department.
oh yeah, there's a lot of effort put in by the mocap team, because a lot of it was mocapped. It was Crystal Dynamics. It had to be mocapped. But goddamn Tomb Raider. Like, I don't know what my first WoW moment with gore was. I really can't recall, because I've been playing games for so long that I can't even remember what, like, the gore sequence that really was like, oh my god, this is what games are. Maybe Dead Space?
I think for me that it's more or less Corpse Party, because that's usually how fucked up I go into games.
That's VN. It's like, you have to look at this still image, and we put a lot of effort into the detail of this still image.
Well, even like in the later ones with like the PS Vita, like with the 3D models, it's still like, oh god.
Yeah.
But that's as bad as I get, and I usually just skip back from there.
Yeah. I think Dead Space was like my first WoW gore moment. Because, like, that's a game that actually has, like, the same amount of, like, revelry as Resident Evil 4 did. Because it's basically a better Resident Evil 4. Like, it's Resident Evil 4 with horror. Like, it's an actually scary action survival game. But, like, the amount of effort that went into how death animations work in Dead Space is, like, cool. Because all of it is done using normal animations, and it's just a ragdoll reacting to actual attacks, and then they re-rig it. I really do miss that company. I really do miss Visceral.
Unfortunately, money is what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
And that's difficult for a game company.
I mean, it wasn't even, like, their fault. It's that they got shut down.
Sometimes it's just really shitty luck.
Yeah. I think
And for a game company, it doesn't take that much.
yeah, I think about that. I'm like, how they started off like being a trendsetter, and then they immediately got demolished for being too like for chasing trends so much after the fact. I always feel bad about that. Whole
I mean,
sequence
like,
of-
it made the money to keep their doors open, so why does it matter?
yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like Visceral actually cared, and it was just EA that got in a little too deep.
EA is just bad.
Yeah, EA is just bad. Like, I would never defend EA for the world.
And it's not the people who work at EA to, like, make the games, it's more of upper management and the shareholders that just are
Yeah.
like, we don't care.
Yeah, I always think about that. I'm just like, what would have happened had Visceral been like under a different company?
Well, let's try a different spin. What if they had been unionized?
I really don't know. I really don't know how they would have been if they were unionized, or if they were independent for that matter. I wouldn't know.
Because I feel like, you know, if people who are working in the game industry were unionized, I feel like they wouldn't be screwed over as much, but that kind of depends who runs the union. So,
Yeah.
I want them to unionize, but at the same time, it's kind of like I want them to be wary about being unionized. Because it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Not only is it not always sunshine and rainbows, but sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about that grab that I just countered. Apparently he died before the grenade actually triggered to be used, so I kept the grenade.
That's pretty good, actually.
That's pretty helpful, actually. It's really useful information to have. I don't have a health pack, so I guess I'll just use. I'd really rather have 2 grenades going into the final area, but beggars can't be choosers. I also didn't think I had health on me. Yeah. It is what it is. That liquor really wanted me. Okay.
He was very hungry.
So, yeah, so I get to try a fun strat. I'm gonna hope that I get grab immunity for this, because I don't want to get grabbed by the ivy. Oh man, I actually will not know where I am when I get up. Okay, I'm turning around. I actually had no idea where I was.
It happens occasionally.
Yep. Alright, and we are in the clear. I just gotta get up these stairs fast enough to not get my booty rocked by Mr. X, who's right on the stairs with me. Alright. Konjac is clear.
Yeah, it
We
only
did
took
it.
like what, 5 tries.
Mm-hmm. I'm too stubborn. You'll find that out about me pretty quick. I'm way too stubborn to give up on stuff really quick. Except if it's
I mean-
hardcore.
Being stubborn isn't always a bad thing.
Oh my god, that's great. I love that screen. I am Konjac. Fear me. New characters have been unlocked. Oh, I unlocked them right away. Onion Tofu and Flan. Oh, great. Flan has a rocket launcher. Come on. And Onion Tofu has a revolver and a bunch of herbs. All right, I gotta see what Onion Tofu is about. An intelligence agent who originally acted as a negotiator, helping to erase the bitter taste of medicine. Even now, he can often be found using his negotiating skills. All right. You have my attention. What do you got? That's a pretty... That's a pretty basic setup, actually. I know what I'm doing right away. Oh, it's a female voice this time.
Keeping down the Grim Reaper, huh?
She has 360 ammo.
Relax, Mr. I'm headed toward the front gate of our...
Although these weapons use the same ammo type, so hands out. These both use high-grade caliber ammo. How many defensive tools do I have? I have a knife. Okay. So I don't have any quick outs here. But you know what? I will take it. Annin Tofu is so nice and smooth. I appreciate it over that weird gritty texture, honestly.
Well, yeah, because there's soft tofu, firm tofu, and extra firm tofu.
Yeah.
So it's probably extra firm tofu.
Yeah. I just appreciate the fact that it looks like I'm looking at a whiteboard right now.
Well, like some people use tofu as desserts.
Yeah, yeah. We don't talk to those people.
You don't talk to those weird vegans.
If you want dessert, there's yogurt.
Or Greek yogurt.
Or yeah, Greek yogurt for protein. Yeah. Are vegans allowed to eat yogurt and ice cream? Well, I know not ice cream because ice cream is... Oh, yeah, because they're both dairy products, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not allowed to eat yogurt or ice cream. But if they make something with tofu, they're allowed to eat it. Personally, I don't mind if people are vegan, but every time I meet a vegan in California, at the very least, they keep going on and on and on about how they're vegan and why. And I was fine with it up until someone started talking about honey, and then after that I had to tune my brain out. Because some people don't understand how farming works.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay,
yeah,
whatever helps you sleep at night.
It was one of I had that experience when it came to, because like I get it. Some people have to eat vegan not by choice. But, like, vegan is a very specific thing.
And even if you're doing it by choice, it's still actually really difficult.
It is really difficult because even food that is, like, vegan safe might not be... Or, like, vegan safe is a very poor choice of words.
Vegan approved.
If it's, yeah, vegan approved. Even food that's vegan approved is usually not, like, 100% vegan. It's like B+ vegan.
It shares the same surface.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's still really hard to get certain things like protein. Not that, like, plant protein is bad, but it's not the same as, like, whey protein that you would get from, like, an animal, which is more dairy-based. So it's like, you have to be willing to eat a fuck ton of carbs, even if they're not, like, whole carbs. Or complex carbs. It has to be like a lot of simple carbs, but in nutrition, like, that burns so quickly that it's like, well, yeah, you'll lose weight, but like, well, you have enough energy throughout the day, and that is why vegans will eat a bunch of sugary shit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's just to make up for it, because if you don't have protein, you have to make it up in carbs and fat.
I'm like, I thought about going vegan at some point just to help with like my weight. But I like food.
I mean, I thought being vegetarian was a good idea until I actually did weight training, and we were talking about nutrition, and I was actually having problems because I wasn't feeling full. So when I switched back to like leaner meats, it was fine. My stomach still doesn't like red meat because it can be really fatty.
You can still have like red meat alternatives, and like that have enough of a protein source, like chicken.
Yeah, I ate chicken today, and then like if I'll eat a veggie burger, at least once a week, and I found that there's like at Trader Joe's there's this high protein veggie burger, which is a bunch of pea protein, but it was actually good. And then I put an egg over it, and I was like, it's delicious.
Yeah, that seems fine. Like that seems to work in my books. Because at the very least, like, I feel like if you're gonna go a certain like dietary habit, that vegan is like one of the things that you can modify based on your needs and like lifestyle.
If anything, being lacto-vegetarian is probably way easier.
Yeah.
But I think the point of what people are trying to say is just stop eating as much red meat, and I can understand that. But if you live in like a rural farming area, you'll actually buy an entire animal, sometimes or some parts, because it's way cheaper than buying meat at the grocery store like every week. And you can just freeze it and it will last for months.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like, that makes sense. And if you're a family of 5, of course you would pay for that.
Yeah.
But if you're a single person, like, you'd probably be like, I would buy a smaller quantity. But everyone's needs are different.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The process of making tofu is interesting to me, but the process of eating tofu is...
You can deep fry it and it still doesn't taste good.
Yeah, and deep frying things usually makes things taste good.
Not tofu.
Not tofu. Tofu actually might make everything cooked after it taste worse.
I mean, I can't really disagree with you on that.
Get little bits of tofu on your deep fried Twinkie. Oh man.
Have you had deep fried green beans as a replacement?
I'm gonna tell you how I got diabetes actually last year, because we haven't talked.
Oh no.
I went to a summer fair. We have it all the time here in town, called Bohemian Mining Days, and every year there's like a cart, like a parking lot full of food carts. And today was last year was the year I finally sat down and had a deep fried candy bar.
Oh god.
And I went in and I was like, hey, can I get a deep fried Twinkie? I've never had one. So I was like, okay. And they got me a deep fried Twinkie. And then I came up and they were just like, all right, your deep fried Twinkie's here. And I got it. And it looked brown for some reason. I was like, all right, that's kind of weird. And then I cut it in half and I realized, wait, that's peanuts and caramel. They got me a deep fried Snickers bar instead. And I was like, okay, I'll just take it back and go get the Twinkie. And then my mistake happened.
Oh no.
I went over and they were just like, hey, I ordered a deep fried Twinkie and this is a deep fried Snickers bar. Can I get an actual Snickers? Can I get like can I get a deep fried Twinkie? And I'm like, sure, yeah, we can do that for you. And feel free to have the Snickers bar on the house.
Oh no!
So I did, and I felt like I was going to die.
Oh my god.
Which is fine because I had a Subway sandwich today that also made me feel like I was going to die, so I was familiar with the experience.
Oh, no.
So the moment I got home, I downed like 2 bottles of water. Like, I knew I had to get all the sugar out of my system, because otherwise my systems were gonna stop functioning soon.
Oh, that's bad.
They were delicious though. That deep fried Twinkie was delicious.
I was told I was pre-diabetic last year, but right after I moved, so I've been eating out, and they're like, could you put more fruits and veggies in your diet? And I was like, I just moved. What the fuck? So I've been eating better, but
Oh, that's
losing weight when you might have been eating kind of good.
Yeah. I feel like I understand that a little bit better than most people.
No, because apparently binge eating can be an eating disorder. That's like something new. I was like, what do you mean it can be an eating disorder?
Yeah. Because like, I didn't think about it until recently that my eating habits are like awful, like way worse than I led them on to be. You know, most people are just like, oh yeah, you know, eating a lot of treats and stuff can do that, like eating a lot of potato chips and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, that's all I eat. Because like, we don't have a whole lot of food in the house except stuff that I can make easily. So my diet usually consists of like
Pastaroni.
yeah, well, not even like that. Like my diet mostly consists of like cup noodles or you know, like easy to make ramen, or like the only meal I'll ever make is like chicken Alfredo or pancakes.
I mean, I see why if you don't have us, you would be like, just make cup of noodles. It's easier.
Yeah, especially because like I got shit to do. Like I'll start a stream and I won't have eaten a meal, and then it's like dinner time, and it's like, all right, I gotta eat. So not only do I have a bad diet, but I also eat like extremely poorly. Like I get a meal a day. And that's on a good day. Sometimes I'll go like an entire day with just a cup of coffee.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. I wasn't kidding when I said my eating habits probably aren't the best. But that's okay. I mean, it's not okay. But I just want it to feel like it's okay. Because otherwise I'll start being worried about my own personal health. And I don't want that. I'm in the middle of playing as a hunk of tofu, trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. I don't need to bring down the party on this shit.
I mean, the zombies are enjoying it.
Yeah, they seem to be all the more excited about tofu than I am, actually. Ooh, I got blocked on that one. That's okay. Ooh, this is actually the fun part. I get to look at kill-death ratios of these characters now. ResidentEvil.net, here we go. I get to look at stats for these guys. Because I've unlocked them, so they no longer appear as question marks. Unless my internet just doesn't want to agree with me right now. I am streaming at a ridiculously high bit rate now.
It looks fine.
Yeah, I'm streaming at 6,000 bitrate now. Which is apparently what my computer can handle. It's not the fact that it's not because of the fact that I have a high bitrate that I'm worried about the quality of the stream. It's the fact that now everything else loads slower. Because I'm using like half the internet. Like half the internet's upload rate to stream. Alright, let's see here. Well, unsurprisingly, uiro-mochi, the grenade-only tofu, has the highest KD ratio. Well, actually, no, Flan beats it out by a little bit, but that's probably because it's got a rocket launcher. Uiro-mochi has a 71.6 KDR, and Flan has a 73.9. For comparison, Leon has a 9.2 kill-death ratio. Let me look up other fun stats. 251 million kills globally. 3,340 years of playtime. That's good. We're getting there. Let me look at something. 224 million cockroaches activated.
Ew.
1.66 million Leons eaten by the alligator. It's half as heavy as the Harmony of the Seas now. It used to be twice as heavy as the Titanic. I love these statistics. Alright, Flan, let's see what you're all about. The strongest intelligence agent who can keep it together when breaking apart. Made with just eggs and some of the finest milk and fresh cream for a silky smooth finish. Her sweet scent on the air makes people crave her in a way that may not be healthy. It's said that even the dead will come back to life for her. I love it. Oh man, this texture's actually really nice. Oh my god, she's decked. She's decked out.
They literally just pick things that jiggle.
Well, they had to. They already had the bottle rigged. They might as well just add different textures and be like, alright, here's all the different challenge runs. They basically quintupled the amount of stuff you can do with Tofu. Because it used to be just a one and done deal, and that was it. Well, I know immediately that this run's going to take forever, but I can clear it. Guaranteed. Because the one thing that the Spark Shot is good at is killing zombies. It can't be done. It can't do shit with groups, but single zombies, it'll rock. I also have access to no healing, which is indicative of the fact that they knew. But I do have a minigun and a rocket launcher with 4 shots, so it'll work out. Look, man, sometimes you just want to blow shit up, and you want to look fabulous doing it. I don't even like flan. I think flan's disgusting.
I don't think I've had it actually.
It's like,
But
have you had custard?
yeah,
Have you had custard that feels like tofu?
no.
That's flan.
I don't know if
It's custard that's as slimy as tofu.
I don't know if I would like that. I just know that like, Cardcaptor Sakura characters love it when I've read the manga.
I'm sure they do. They like a lot of things. Oh my god, this dog.
It's delicious.
This dog is like the MVP.
Can't get enough of it.
Well, at the very least, I'm past the dogs now, so the scariest part of the game's over. The dogs with this setup are going to be awful. Zombies, they're nothing. I can deal with them.
The dogs are kind of different.
Yeah, the dogs can rush you down and combo you, and I don't have any heals for it. I feel like they took the jiggle physics engine from something and put it into the Tofu. What? I don't know. All I know is that there's a lot of proportionate jiggle going on with this Tofu. Not having any healing is probably the scariest part of this entire thing. That's the same deal with the grenade-only Tofu. The other ones I can handle because I have healing as backup, and that's probably why I'm garbage at hardcore, is because I don't think about how to not get hit. Okay. Well, at the very least, I'm figuring out what to do. I guess if I want to get rid of the dogs, I should bring out the minigun.
Yeah.
Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. But it's fun to say. I just love the way that they did the ragdoll in this game. It's so interesting, the way that they handled the gore system. It's also funny to think about that one of the biggest selling points of the new Doom game is that you can destroy demons in a procedural way. Like, they actually get damaged in chunks. And I'm just like, man, they really missed the loop on this one. Because Resi 2 just did it, so they got a little bit of catching up to do. But that's okay, because I still want to see demons get blown to smithereens.
Yeah.
Come on through, I'm reloading my spark shot. Come on, buddy. Oh, missed. Take a flash grenade. Man, I really missed all these. I really missed all those shots.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. That's okay.